Hey, y'all. Happy soon-to-be New Year's Eve.
Yes.
I hope everybody is doing well tonight. We are going live across the board again. We got Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and of course our studio Riverside so that everyone can see us. All right. So, of course, we are going to start off with our disclosure.
Yin Yang the podcast does not own rights to any background music or noise you may hear. This podcast is completely opinion-based and may include adult content, adult language, and verbiage not suitable for any underage viewers. Information found in this podcast may not contain exact accuracy as it is opinion-based. Please listen at your own risk.
All right, y'all. So this is our New Year's special.
Yay.
I know we have sound effects like over on the side that we don't use that often.
Oh,
But I've been playing with them today. So if you randomly hear them, it's because I'm getting a little bit better. So
like,
New
that
Year.
Noise?
So when I first started playing with them, I was kind of on that, like I wasn't sure what to expect. So, and they take a second, like after you press the play button, they take like 3 seconds to start. So I'm like, oh, it's not going to work. And then it'd be like, boom, drum roll. And oh, okay. No, they work. They work. So just for those that know, Riverside, it's a delay about 3 seconds into whatever you, whenever you press it. So just be prepared.
Right. I think I found my new drug of choice, the soda.
So I was going to ask you, so she opened that just a few seconds ago as we were getting on here, and she was like, I'm going to taste it. And I forgot to look at her face when she tasted it to see if it was good.
It was like the first time I tried it and like it sipped, I was like, I don't know. But that aftertaste, I was like, oh, okay.
So, and for those that don't know, me and Yang both have this like Dr. Pepper zero sugar problem. So, and she's in a much larger populated area than I am. So she gets things before I do. So I'm really hoping that when I hit the store tomorrow, they have those things. Because if not, then it's
tomorrow I'm going to get the vanilla next because it's the vanilla.
See, the only one I ever see down here is the cherry Dr. Pepper zero sugar.
I might have to mail you some.
All right, so we'll discuss that later. I'll give you my address. She has my address, y'all.
Yeah, it's gonna be they're gonna UPS. What is it? FedEx might back up to your house and cases
just drop off a case of soda. I'm like, work perks.
Yes.
Who needs health benefits when you get soda dropped off to your house, man? Screw the health benefits.
Yes.
Buy me off some soda.
Now, the only one, so the Canada Dry Zero Sugar is phenomenal. I love that. I just tried.
I do too.
The 7-Up. I didn't really like that. Adam did, and he drank the rest of the case for me because I wasn't feeling it. But
I don't like the zero sugar Sprites either.
I like the zero sugar Sprite. The Sprite no
they
sugar.
upset my belly.
Really? I like
when it doesn't matter. I could have eaten a full meal, but when they hit my stomach for some reason, it makes it feel like it's an empty stomach.
Oh.
I do not like those.
Now the root beer one, I don't know because I'm a love root beer, and like I'm terrified to try that because
it's not going to taste right.
If it ruins my root beer fantasy, then I'm gonna be real mad. So I might just have to have a regular root beer. Plus, I like what is it? I used to be hard on the Mugs root beer.
Oh, so I used to love root beer floats when I was young, but after that, I kind of grew out of root beer. But I understand what you're saying because I prior to having a Dr. Pepper Zero problem, I had a Dr. Pepper problem. And when I started to have, some health issues that made me decide I needed to, lower my sugar intake, I was like, well, let me try these zero sugar ones, and I asked my doctor about it before I did. So for all those that are going to try to run back and be like, doctors say, my doctor didn't say that. So whatever. I asked my doctor about it, and my doctor was like, you know what? Go ahead and do it. The only thing to kind of keep an eye on with zero sugar products like this is the sodium levels, because sodium levels can make like your ankles swell and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but I already have those problems anyway, so it's hard to tell if it's the soda or me. So
Yeah, and
it's
I don't drink a
definitely.
soda like a lot of times. It's just like a little treat every now and again, but I
Oh yeah,
still
no,
try not to do
she's so
sugar.
good. Yeah, Sheena's so good, y'all. I'm a problem with soda. I
Girl, when you
will
have
wake my boyfriend up at 11 o'clock at night and be like, I don't have a soda. And he'll be like, there's water. And I'll be like, what does that mean? I don't have a soda.
like I can't function.
And it's funny because I'll drink water here. Like at work, I would really drink coffee and water at work. Unless I'm like in a car, because I got to have a top on my thing when I'm in a car, because I get weird that I'm going to spill it all over myself. But yeah, that's at home. Like, why would I choose water when I can have soda? Like, I can afford the soda. And I know that I know I need to drink more water. Maybe that should be my New Year's resolution.
Yeah, drink more water.
Nope, I'm not doing it. I'll fail it
That should be
because
everyone's New Year's resolution. I don't think anybody drinks enough water.
let's see. I used to think that until hanging out with my mom, man. That's all she drinks. I don't know. She has to have like the clearest urine in the world. Like that's all she's drinking all the time. Like, but I always know, and you can, just for those people that don't know, know your body, because you can tell by like the color and stuff of your urine if you haven't consumed enough water in recent days.
But there's a thing where you can drink too much water.
Yes, and it can make you can drown yourself. It'll make you like physically ill, and you won't actually drown, but you'll be too hydrated. There'll be too much water in your body. And I've actually done that before after I thought I was dehydrated. And then I just I drank like a bunch of electrolyte drinks, and then I drank a bunch of water, and then I felt worse than I felt before. Before I just felt like really hot and kind of lethargic. And then a few hours later, I felt like I had had a heat stroke. I ended up going to the hospital, and they told me, hey, you overconsumed water in this amount of time.
Yeah,
and
you
I was
can't
like,
do
I didn't
that.
even know you could do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I was talking to you or somebody was telling me about the story about this lady who died by consuming too much water, and she drank like, I want to say 4 to 6 bottles of bottled water in like an hour, and it was way
That's
too
way too much.
and for
So
her
you're not
system.
so a lot of people will tell you like, oh, you're supposed to drink a gallon of water a day. Just so
know.
y'all people know, my doctor told me that's wrong. My doctor told me that you're supposed to drink 2 to 3 20-ounce bottles max a day.
Yeah, what people tell you when I just started my weight loss journey, they were telling me, "Oh, you got to drink half your body weight in water." And I'm like,
So,
"Do you realize like at my max
how much
weight,
water?
I was like 256." So I was like, "Do you
So
realize how much water that is? Like I'm
you
not
guys,
drinking that much water."
how much does water weigh? Because I mean, at 256, that means you would have to drink 125 pounds of water. How does that work? Like, how do you convert pounds into ounces?
Well, yeah, you drink half your half your body weight, I guess in ounces, half your body weight in water. So
128 ounces. No, that'd be so 20, 40, 60, 81. That'd be 6
too
bottles
much
of water a
water.
day.
It's too
Yeah,
much
that'd be
water.
double the
Too
logical
much
amount that
water.
a doctor will tell you to drink. Now, the max, they say, like on hot days, the max that you're supposed to take in is a gallon.
Yeah,
And
I
once your
drink
body's used to that.
these 16.9-ounce bottles.
Okay.
I probably do 4, maybe 5. The most I did was 6 throughout the whole day, but around 4 or 5 of those. If that.
See, that's not,
Sometimes I
and
drink
that's
like 1 or
normal.
2.
That's a normal intake of water. I like the circle, y'all. I
I
I
haven't
have a
tried
circle that
that.
I take with. Oh, girl, it changed my life honestly because it's hard. I was one of those hard water drinkers because water doesn't have a taste. Well, let me not say that because all water does have a taste and they all taste different.
I was
But the
about
water
to
that I
correct
actually,
you.
yeah, the water that I actually liked the most was Fiji, and it's super expensive. So I was like, okay, of course I would like the expensive water. Um, so I couldn't get myself to drink a lot of water until I got the circle. And that's because, and all I did is I left my little flavor thing on too. So I barely had any flavor. It was almost like drinking like with some Crystal Light packet or something in it.
Mhm.
However, that little bit of flavor changed the world for me. And
You
if
drinking
Sheena,
more
you
water?
haven't tried it yet, then I
No.
will send you a starter kit because they're not expensive. They're like $20, but I can send you a starter kit right in the mail, and it comes with 2 flavors.
Okay.
And the flavors have no sugars, no calories, and they have energy in them.
See, that's what I need. The energy part, for sure.
Yeah, they have one this girl. They have a vanilla coffee.
Hmm. Yeah,
Now that one you will have to up the
yeah.
flavor because this
That's
doesn't
on
taste as well.
my
But
resolution is to increase my water intake because I had slacked off a whole lot.
so okay, well I keep forgetting. Well, I don't forget, but we are on the podcast, so I guess you should talk about New Year's. So do you have any actual resolutions for next year?
Just to continue to reach my business goals, my financial goals, and my health goals. Just going to work to get to where I need to be. Because what's a resolution? A actual a goal that you want to attain. So I'm not too big on the word resolution because basically to me it's the goal. So I do have goals set for 2024. But my main focus is going to be just to get to where I want to be.
Okay.
And that's just being stable in
Okay.
my finances, in my personal
Now,
life,
with
and
those things,
everything.
do you have like personal goals for each one? Like here, I'll give you an example. Like I have 2 financial goals for next year, and I call them goals also. Because I feel like saying resolution sets you up for failure.
Hmm.
Like you ultimately have to reach this or you failed.
Right,
Whereas
because
a goal
you're
is
tying into yourself into the hype.
right. Yeah. So, so I do the same thing. That makes me feel good. I didn't even know. So, just so y'all know, we didn't talk about this before on purpose. I didn't know that Sheena felt the same way I did. So, that's a really good to hear because if she was going to ask me, like, what are your resolutions? I was going to be like, well, I don't have any. Because I don't do resolutions. So, but my goals for next year, like I want to personally save $10,000. That's a big goal for me because I'm working towards some things that I need to secure for my future. Um, and none of them's like, if I don't reach that goal, I won't be too hard on myself because it's not going to a specific thing. I don't need it for something. It's a goal because I'm trying to reach a certain point in the next 5 years. So, and I don't have any rhyme or reason. I am, I just kind of told myself, hey, you're going to do this. And then I have, goals for like the podcast. And y'all are going to see, for those of you, we're excited. We're super excited. Because our podcast starting next year will be sponsored. So we'll have sponsors on each one of our podcasts, which will just be, a 5 to 10 minute little thing that we need to talk to you about our sponsor. However, we also will be moving to 8 p.m., which means all of you can come join and not have to stay up till 11 o'clock at night.
I
And
know.
I know. Listen, I don't know about Sheena, but every Saturday I take a nap from 6 to 8 to be prepared for this podcast. And Sheena's seen my
No, I
calendar,
don't.
so she can tell you that like it'll say before my podcast, like podcast prep for like 3 hours before, and that's because 2 of those hours are a nap.
Listen, I'm hardcore. Like I just ride it straight on through. Now when I get on the podcast, I'm like, dude, I need to keep my eyes open. But yes, I'm excited about
Listen,
the 8 p.m.
I can't ride it straight through, man. This bracelet that I always see me wear, this thing will start buzzing on my arm. Like, you need sleep, girl. You need sleep. Why are you awake? But if I take a nap, it'll shut up and leave me alone for a few hours. So,
girl, if I take a nap, I'm not gonna get back up. Listen, I don't nap. Like, I sleep for hours and days. Like, listen, I was late for work the other day because I overslept. Like, no, naps are.
listen, I just need to be clear about something. Did you just say you was late for work because you overslept? What'd you tell him? Traffic was bad.
No. I just told her I overslept. Listen. I'm glad I work from home because listen,
that's what I was getting to. I don't think people know that. She works virtually, so it's one of those things.
Listen, the alarm went off at like what 6:30. I hit the snooze. The next thing you know, it was 8:20. I was supposed to clock in at 8. All I did was walk my little butt across the room in my pajamas, like, oh my god, I'm late. But then, I'm trying to sign into my workstation so I can clock in. Then I realize I'm still in my pajamas, so I'm like, oh crap!
And on video.
I didn't. I said, oh crap! I need to go find some clothes because I got to be on video. My boss is cool though. She was like, "It's okay. I was just looking for you." Shoot, yeah. I know she
was looking for me too.
I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, it was 8:20
so
too.
funny.
Like, oh my god. So that was the day.
That's so funny. It reminds me a lot of because my mom works virtually also, and she'll say things to me like, I've been late more since I started working virtually than I have been my entire life with having to drive to work. She was like, but it's just something about it'll be like 7. I think she starts at 9, so it'll be like 8:40, and she'll be like, okay, I still got 20 minutes, and then she'll look at the clock and be 8:10, and she's like, I'm never, or 9:10, and she's like, I'm just never on time. Which is funny because I'm an always early to something. Sorry for the squeaking in the background, y'all. My dog found her toy. But I will be early to everything. And then the only time I've been late the entire year with work is the first day for a trainee that I had. Like, I've never been late to work. I'm always early to everything. Even when like my boss, me and her sometimes have to do certain things together. And even during that, I'll show up at the location she tells me to show up 20, 30 minutes early. And she'll be like, why are you already there? And I'm like, I can't help it. But go figure, the one day I need to be early.
You was late.
And I was. And the trainee was there standing at the door. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, no, it's absolutely okay. And I was like, no, I'm setting a precedent. Don't be me. Don't ever be late.
It usually works that way when you're rushing. And because you're running late, you always get stuck behind the slowest people driving. And it's like, oh my God, it's so frustrating.
Listen, well, yeah, and I had to drive an hour away for that trainee. So it's not so the whole way there, of course, I was blaming it on traffic. I was like, it's not my fault, it's the traffic. But I honestly left my house 20 minutes later than I usually do. So,
yeah.
But with you saying that, is it just me or is it only when you're frustrated that your items of clothing get caught on things?
Yeah.
Because it seems to only be when I have to hurry up and leave or hurry up and do something that all of a sudden my jacket catches on something. Listen, I remember blooper moment. I wish I should start recording myself getting ready for these podcasts because it was our second or third podcast. So it was the second or third time I was learning to put hair on correctly because I'm not good at the whole hair wig thing, guys. But it was the third or fourth time that I was putting it on, and I put it on and I went to walk away, and I guess a part of the hair was caught on something. First it snatched it off. Then I put it back on. I got it secure. I thought I was good. I walked away and the bag to the wig was hanging from the back of the bottom of the wig. And I went through the entire podcast with that there and didn't know it till the end. I was sitting here talking to y'all and went like this because my back was starting to itch and felt it and was like, don't show them, Amanda, just leave it behind you. But bloopers, New Year's.
Oh my
So
God. It's that and the ability to not be able to find what you're looking for. That happens to me. Like, and it could be sitting there in clear daylight and I still overlook it.
that's super funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like people that lose their keys. So I have a super bad anxiety problem. Sheena knows this about me.
Mm.
I get myself overthinking. So the night before, when I come home from work every day, the first thing that I do is pick out my clothes for the next morning. I gather my keys and anything else I'm taking with me to work, and I set them in one area. If I wake up the next morning and those items are not there, everyone in this house is waking up because I do it specifically so that I cannot freak out the next morning and not find things.
Yeah, that's me. I keep my keys in a certain spot, so when it's not there, I'm like, what the hell? Because I know I'm not going to remember what I did with it.
Right. And that's one of my biggest fears. And I also, my mom, who lives on the same road that I live on, y'all, has a backup set of keys for me because I'm so afraid that I'm going to lose my keys and not be able to go to work. Which is honestly like the most valid reason to not go to work that I've ever heard of. You know, I mean, I know
I
that people
can't
get
come
sick,
in
but
because I don't have my keys.
right. I mean, what are you going to do? It's not like you can be like, I'll call AAA. They can't start your car.
Well, I can't use that excuse because they're going to be like, you're not going anywhere. Get in the other room and log on.
You should occasionally use that though. You should be like, hey, I'm gonna be a little bit late today. Traffic is horrible. The bridge is backed up and there's a
Hey,
train coming.
hey, y'all, email me some excuses I can use to call out when you work from home. I would love to hear those. I
The
need
only
to
one you
post
got is
them.
internet down.
Yeah, post in the comments on the page. I need to know.
Let's
I
see
need
if we
some
getting any
examples.
comments coming through.
Yes, because I need to know. What
Let
can
me
I
grab
use?
my.
Because I
I
can't use
forgot to.
traffic or my car trouble.
All right. So,
Yeah, so I guess we were sitting here rambling
I
about
guess I
everything
could
but no New Year's.
everything but the resolutions. I mean, but listen, y'all, this is a New Year's special. We are wrapping up a phenomenally hard year for a lot of people. And
It really
the
was.
serious side of that is I feel you. You know, you people out there that are struggling financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, you know, health wise. I can relate to you on so many levels, and I wish you the most prosperous 2024 that you could possibly find because it's not easy. It's super, super, super hard to be an adult out here in today's society. And I don't know, you know, me and my mom, because I always say things like, and I don't know about other people, I'm okay with sharing this information, but I'm 38 years old. So I'm an 80s baby, 90s raised, you know, pretty much. And I was a latchkey kid. A lot of the people I know were latchkey kids. You know, your parents had to work. So when you got off the school bus, you took your butt home, you did your homework, you did your chores, and then your parents showed up. You know, I thought it was just our generation that struggled the way that we are with housing and credit and things like that. But after having a very lengthy conversation with my mom, her generation went through the same thing. It wasn't her generation that had, yeah, my mom was able to get some good deals on some houses over the years, but it wasn't her generation that had the $50,000 houses.
Oh,
You
I need
know,
one of those.
girl, we need to go back to the 20s because I was reading the little things. It was talking about 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses for $45,000.
Girl, you
Right?
probably have 2-3 acres for like.
I know, like, it makes me want to call my friends and be like, "Hey, y'all want a house for Christmas?" Like, if they're each only 45 a piece, I can get my friends a couple of houses too on a decent mortgage. So
Now that same house for 45 is probably like 345.
it, girl, so much more. Because think about it. I mean, depending on the area, you're out there in South Carolina. I know where my family is at in South Carolina. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath house there is running about $600,000.
Mm,
And that's not even in good neighborhoods. That's just
ain't
because
no
it's
way.
out in a city close to the water. And
Listen, but just to
out
lay your
here,
head down.
see, and that's what, and I keep telling people that too. Like, if I had more physical strength as an individual, I would straight just buy some property and build my own house. Because I can't. My brain just can't fathom the idea. And not to mention certain things you can't. Before I went back into property management, I worked in the construction industry for, 18-ish months. And the windows, to get windows for houses was on back order for 52 to 75 weeks. That is a year to a year and a half to wait for your windows to come in the mail.
Your house
I don't
ain't
know
gonna
if
have
that
no
sounds
windows.
stupid or crazy. Right? Girl, I'm going to just get some glass pane and throw that bad boy in there. Or I'm going to have an
Can you
open air house.
pick out a different set of windows? Cause ain't no way.
And they were like the hurricane windows. Like when you live in certain areas, you got to have certain kinds of windows. So,
That's
sorry, y'all,
probably
I
why
have
they was
something in my throat.
on back order, because you have to have certain type of windows for that area. But that's still ridiculous. That's still a ridiculous
It's
amount of time.
it's the same way, and it's probably the same now still. Like generators, if you want to buy a large generator, if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you purchase one, you can't just purchase the one there. They have to order it. And they'll say, well, when you ask them, like, what's your time frame for delivery, they say 6 months to a year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
so
I don't know if that's a nationwide thing or a Georgia, North Carolina thing or what, but it was happening in Georgia and North Carolina for us because the construction company I worked with, dealt with both areas. So
I'm probably about to call Lowe's tomorrow just to see.
you
Because I'm
should.
curious. I'm curious about that, because really?
It's something about the stuff that happened in 2020 that, and I don't know exactly what COVID did to mess up generators. Maybe a lot of
I don't
people were afraid
know.
of like doomsday or things like that.
Well, you
But
know what? Facebook Marketplace is pretty cool, and you might be
girl, we gonna
able to go.
find us a generator.
You might be able to go pick up one, this afternoon.
I'm old school. If the lights go out, it's cool. Just give me a candle.
A flashlight or something. Now they got the little push button lights. All you need is some batteries, some good
Oh yeah,
batteries,
just hit the
and
little light.
that's all.
So, anyways, back to New Year's, guys. See,
Oh yes, back to New Year's.
So resolutions. Me and Sheena both kind of shared that we don't have actual resolutions. We have goals. I did the goals that you had last year at this time, did you reach any of those goals, or did you start to accomplish any of those goals, or were they like goals that you made that you changed your mind? I can give you an example. Like, I made 2 goals at the beginning of last year. One of them was to get back into property management, which I did in February of last year. And the other goal was to get my health straight. And although I don't have all of my answers right now, I have more answers than I've ever had in my life. So that's a very positive thing for me. I didn't get to the actual goal, but hopefully I'll be there by February 8th. So, it's one of those things where I tried, but I don't feel like it was a complete win for my second goal. So what
Yeah,
about you?
my biggest goal for 2023 was to start my weight loss journey. Well, I had started my weight loss journey a year before, but really give it some dedication.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I wanted to meet my goal to lose. And I think when I started my journey, I had like 96 pounds to lose, and I was at my highest weight around when I first started. My highest weight was like 256. So beginning of this year, I was like still like 220, 230. So I was like, I set a goal that I wanted to hit my goal. my actual goal of like at least 160 and to get down there. So I haven't met my goal, but I'm down to 197, so I'm damn close. So
Right.
I'm gonna just roll that over until next 2024
Hmm.
as a challenge and play some games with myself and motivate myself to hit my I only got like 30 more pounds. I'm only like
Right.
what, like 30 pounds off, 30, 31. Who's mathing? Not me. So I'm gonna hit it this in 2024. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
No, I completely believe you. And just for those of you that don't know, I have known Yang longer than we've been doing this podcast. So I can tell you that I have seen phenomenal progress out of her and phenomenal accountability on the same measure. Like multiple times me and her have been like, hey, we're gonna do this together, and I'm like a weekend going, nah, never mind. And she'll be like, well, I'm gonna stay with it. And she has. I don't make weight loss goals. Only because number one, I have already split my weight in half over the last 8 years. And then I didn't know why until like last month, but I have been actively slowly losing weight over the last 2 years without trying. And I was not aware that it had anything to do with an autoimmune disorder until very recently. So, that was complete news to me. I just knew that I kept losing weight, so I kept going, okay, well, clearly I'm doing something right. But I wasn't, y'all. I was like eating pizza and brownies and
Ain't pizza amazing? Like
it's my favorite thing in the world. I would give up
yes.
everything in the world to just have pizza every day. It's so horrible.
Really, I would just eat pizza if I could survive. Pizza and coffee. I don't really need nothing else.
See? Right, that's life. But I will tell you, I've also found out since like October, that my body no longer agrees with pizza sauce. So I do eat
Really?
pizza, but it's at a cost now. It's the first time in my life I've ever had heartburn.
Mine's is red meat, like hamburger meat. So I had to say
Uh-huh.
goodbye to burgers.
So
I haven't had a burger in
I
months.
I know that is coming because with what I've been reading about the autoimmune disease that I do have, red meat's not an option.
Oh yeah, I had to give up red meat. It was.
Oh, I know they're gonna tell me. It's gonna break my heart, man. Because I
Girl.
mean, that's the
And-
American thing, like
Yes.
burgers.
Oh, and I found out something else last night too. Like I thought I
What?
was grown, and I went and got something to eat. So usually, like, only thing that really settles on my stomach is chicken. So
Right.
and so I'll eat like rotisserie chicken, or if I'm out, I'll just get like a 4-piece nugget from McDonald's or something, just to put something on my stomach. Because
Right.
usually I just do toast because I don't eat a lot and my stomach doesn't tolerate a lot. But I was like feeling grownish last night, so I'm gonna get 4-piece nugget and an apple pie. Girl, the apple pie was blazing. It was so good. It was fresh and everything, but it did not agree with my stomach. This morning I woke up, I was like, oh my God. I was on my deathbed. That apple pie
I wonder if
tore
it
my
was the
stomach up.
sugar content in it, girl, because you don't
Probably
eat
was.
sugar no more.
I'm not supposed to have like. Well, I thought it would be okay. That's why I said I was thinking I was grown and I could handle it because it was like I was like no excess sugars. So I was like, well, how much sugar is actually in the apple pie? Because apples are fruit. You know what I'm saying? Because like only what do
The
cinnamon
apples
have sugar?
cancel out the sugar, but cinnamon is good for you.
Yes, cinnamon is good, and cinnamon is not a sugar. Really, is cinnamon a sugar? I don't know, but I was like, it should be all right. Apparently, it's not. It's not. So I learned my lesson the hard way.
No, it's definitely probably the sugar content. Like next time, ask them if they have any 0 sugar apple pies.
Girl, we talking about McDonald's.
But still, the customer's always right.
They gonna run me off.
If you ask, if you ask for it enough, they'll invent it.
They probably be like, take an extra chicken nugget and get out my line.
Oh, that's too funny. That's probably true too. They'll be like, "Ma'am, can you stop coming here? You're
Right.
bothering the employees."
Right. Even though I'm this grown ass 40-year-old woman in the drive-thru line, can I get a Happy Meal? The 4 B's. 4 B's. Happy Meal. And the toy better be good.
With the girl
Like,
toy.
yes. And then last night, the other night, I got the Happy Meal and they gave me a raggedy little toy. It was like a little plush little teddy bear thing. And I was like, I wanted a freaking toy. Like, this is y'all give away all the good toys for Christmas? Like, I was mad. And then the last time they gave me
Oh,
some type of puzzle thing, and I was like, I don't want this. This is too much thinking. Like, I want a toy. So McDonald's need to get it right. Like, Yang needs her
listen,
toy.
I
Okay.
miss when McDonald's. Do you remember when they used to sell those cups? Like the glass cups with like Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar and all those different characters on it. We were young. We were like, and I only remember this because my grandma kept them.
I think
But
I remember what you're talking
they were like
about.
$2 or $3, and you would grab the cup or whatever, and it was a glass cup, and it came home as part of the collection. My grandmother had them all, and we would use them all when we were at her house. Oh, they weren't glass; they were like that hard, weird, clear plastic.
Mhm.
But on certain days, like the first day that the new one came out, they would come free with your Happy Meal.
Well, really? So y'all, if y'all want to
Okay,
give
so I
me
know I'm not
something,
crazy because
what's
Christina
that?
said she remembers the glasses too in our
Oh,
Facebook chat. I knew I wasn't crazy. I was like, dang, man, I know somebody's got to remember them.
girl, I don't remember them glasses. Maybe if I see a picture, you got to send me a picture of it. You know, my
Girl,
brain doesn't work. I need to see a picture.
GOOGLE.
What you spelling?
Grown. um,
I'm gonna go Google glasses McDonald's had in the 80s.
hey, I'm not that old. It might have been the late 80s, early 90s.
The 90s, in the 90s.
I don't remember exactly, but man, anyways, and they were glass. Okay, so I thought they were
Well,
glass because I
you got
remember
a
actually
cosigner,
thinking,
so we know they exist.
right, at least I'm not crazy. That's all that matters to me. I mean, I don't really care if the world thinks I'm crazy. I just want to know I'm not crazy. Um, so New Year's, 2023 hit like a lot of people hard. And I don't know if anybody has done like, if you get some time and you want to dig down the rabbit hole, guys, Google what happened in 2023. Just type that into Google because some of the things are heartbreaking. Some of the things that I was reading, but some of them are really positive. There's some really positive bills that have been passed. Along with some negative ones, of course. But there's a lot of bills that have been passed to actually assist people. I know there's a current bill that came out in November that is supposed to take the option of assisted suicide away from America. And I think that's an important bill. So keep your eyes open in 2024 for that one. And I don't know if any of y'all know anything about that, but assisted suicide is something that they do around the world for people with certain mental health disorders that no longer want to live. So I don't think that's a good idea. I much think that I think it would be better if we provided those people with more therapy and figure out what the problem is instead of just assisting them in dying. So that's a bill that they're trying to more or less say will never happen in America, which I think is very important for us, our society. So little things like that.
So is assisted suicide like legal in America? I didn't think that was legal.
So we will actually talk more about that. And I believe March.
Gotcha.
That is it's on our podcast topic list for next year. But there are people who have fought in America to have it done. It's legal in Canada. It's legal in Mexico. It's legal Australia, Europe. Well, not I don't say all of Europe, a lot of Europe. And I don't think it's legal in Spain. But yeah, no, I mean, and it's a real thing, and I dug more into what assisted suicide was when I found out that Roe versus Wade was overturned, because although a lot of people don't look more into these things, when Roe versus Wade was overturned, it actually overturned a lot more than just abortion. And
Yeah.
nobody was listening to me when I said that, like, but there's now like places that can like turn you away from marriage if you're interracial, or if you're transgender, or if you're gay. And those are effects of Roe versus Wade being overturned. But with those same effects comes the possibility that HIPAA law could be changed. If HIPAA law is changed, it can open your mental health file to anyone.
No, that's not good.
And certain illnesses like BPD, which is borderline personality disorder, are considered uncurable mental illnesses. Therefore, if you have them, you are allowed to participate in assisted suicide because it's an uncurable mental illness. And I will tell you, as someone that has lived most of her life with this disorder, I haven't lately, or, I'm in a very good headspace, as for everything I have going on at this point in my life. But there have been moments in my past where I have just said, you know what, I just want to die. And if the HIPAA law is overturned and they can see that I have BPD and those words come out of my mouth, guess what, y'all? They're going to help me die because I had a bad day. And it's things like that that make me pay attention to stuff like that. But assisted suicide is
because
definitely
what
a
if
real
people are
thing.
going through something and they're overwhelmed at the moment? That's not
Yep.
something that they really mean, maybe, and it just said it. And
Some people just need people to say, no, I don't want you to die. I love you.
yeah, there's other options.
But
Yeah,
that's.
I don't know if I don't agree with that. But anyway, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it more in length then. I'll even tell y'all where it came from. But it's stupid. Anyways, but there's a lot of things that happen in 2023, and a lot more things that are going to happen in 2024. We get a new president. Well, elections.
Oh, we do? I don't follow politics, so
Me
I'm like,
either,
oh,
but
we
I
do?
do want to say to the vast majority of America right here live on Yin Yang the podcast, listen, I live in the Trump Pence. I'm not a Trump hater. I think he's a very intelligent businessman. However, if y'all vote Trump into office while he is in prison, I am going to be mad at America if our next president is a freaking convict.
Wait a minute.
I am not taking orders from a man in prison. I'm not.
So is he gonna be in prison during the election, or he's gonna be sent to prison
Girl,
after the election?
all I know is Georgia keeps trying to charge him with stuff, and everybody's saying these charges are gonna stick and he's gonna end up in prison, but he's still running. So we just gonna let somebody from prison run for president? Because if that's the case, I know quite a few of them in there. And if he has a felon, can he run for president?
That's what I was just about to ask. Like, how is he still qualified to run?
Now, I need to contact him, because maybe if he can't do it, he'll let me do it. Maybe he could let me run for him with his name. Like, I could just run as Amanda Trump. You think he'll just let me do it? I got some changes in this country I need to make, y'all, and we're going to tweet the whole time through them.
Man, 2024 going to be crazy, but it's going to be good.
Well, and I don't know about other people, but with goals, so I do want to go over this really quick. This is something I actually posted, and this is for people that aren't quite sure what they want their resolution to be. Listen, stop making these crazy, outrageous resolutions you're never going to meet, because it's going to mess with your self-esteem, your confidence, your mental health. If you weigh 350 pounds, okay, and you say, hey, this year I want to lose weight, that's a logical resolution. But don't say this year I want to lose 200 pounds. You can't do it in a year.
No.
Stop doing that to yourself. Goals, even with resolutions, you need to stick to what they call SMART goals. Like, they need to be specific. They need to have a measurement, achievable, realistic, and timely.
And
You
if you
know, it
need
doesn't,
help with that, come see me because
and that's
I'm gonna
exactly
get you
where I was
right.
going with it. Because, you know, the two biggest things that I think everybody needs to focus on over the next year is number one, your budget.
Mhm.
And I say that not to say everybody's horrible at their budget, but y'all, things are getting more expensive. And it's not like we're all making a bunch more money, you know. A 3 to 5% raise for you has no bearing on the way inflation is right now. That doesn't even
No.
make up for the difference in healthcare costs that have gone up. Not to mention, I know that a lot of places on the East Coast, insurance is about to jump up. I was just told that Georgia's going to go up like $20 across the board per month. So I have no idea
Yeah.
like what your state's going to go up, Sheena. You might want to look that
I
up.
don't
But
know. Yeah, I do need to look that
and
up. But and
that
I
stuff's
mean, they need
scary.
to take your financial goals really serious, like with savings, because man, if 23 ain't touching nothing, boy, people are. You should see. I know people have friends or family that has or know somebody who's probably went through one like car breakdown away from just having everything fall apart. Like they don't
Right.
have
And that's what I
no
was
kind of savings, no kind of emergency funds, no kind of nothing. They just living paycheck to paycheck on a Jesus in a whim, just going. And
listen, I'm that person. And
yeah,
I'm not ashamed to admit it in today's society. I don't have no big savings, or I am one really bad emergency away from being homeless. And I feel like that's how a lot of people in this day and age live.
hmm
Now, mind you, I won't ever be homeless, y'all. I do have a support system I could fall back on. I don't want y'all to ever think that I'm down that bad. But the flip side of
no,
that is
because you cannot
I
broadcast from a cardboard box, because like it's not gonna work. Like, broadcast from a cardboard box.
didn't you broadcast from a cardboard box last week? Oh no, that was a car. That was a
I
car.
was in the car. I was in the car.
She was traveling.
Yes, I
Um,
was in the car.
um, but but that's the truth. I mean, you never know. But what the whole reason I brought this up is, listen, budgets are important. Saving
hmm
is important. I'm 38 years old. If something happens, I retire at 65. Yeah, I'm going to have a 401k and my IRA. But besides that, what do I have? $14 in my savings account? I don't know what that. No, I have more than that in my savings account. But I'm not much more. Like I said, I am one emergency away from being done.
Yeah, and I
So
want to help change
so
people's mindset on finances, because I think that's a stickler, and nobody really wants to talk about it. And it's something
and
that
that's
needs
what
to
I
be talked
wanted.
about. Like you don't
I
have to share
really
your
wanted
business,
to,
but you have to have an understanding of where you stand. I mean, nobody needs to
y'all.
know your business, like how much you got in your account and how much you're making. None of that. But you need to be financially literate enough to know how to budget, how to save, how to build
Right.
generational wealth, or how to build wealth and manage your money.
Well, and that's so the whole reason I even brought that up, and I don't even know if Sheena knew this, but I wanted to tell y'all, make sure that you go follow My Stable Wealth.
Please do.
Okay. She is going to be offering both paid and free coaching, group coaching courses and sessions to help people with these things. She actually has a free one coming up. I think it's in February. I don't have my calendar in front of me. um, but
There's
she's doing
actually
some
two
really
in
cool
January.
things.
Yeah.
There we go, too. I knew they were coming up. I just didn't know when. But she has two in January. I'm actually going to go to both. Because I think that these are really important things. And people don't pay attention to them. I know you're doing what, a vision board one?
Yeah, Vision Board Party and a one on credit. And also go follow My
See?
Stable Mind too. My Stable Mind is a life coaching side, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with that, having free and also paid coaching sessions, courses, self-pay courses that you can do and still learn, because we need to educate.
Right. Well, and that's the next thing I was gonna say. If y'all don't do anything else this year, fix your effing credit, man.
Oh gosh,
We
yes,
are all
please.
losing so much money, so much. Like, and we don't pay attention to it because I listen. And when I say we, y'all, I am part of this category. I don't hold myself to no higher standard. I have been a hippie my entire life. Um, I have lived paycheck to paycheck and carried my bills and figured things out along the way. And I just have that spirit. I have that everything's going to work itself out or it's going to fall apart. And so that's who I've always been. But when you live that way, like I have, I let my credit over the years get completely screwed up sometimes, usually over medical bills. But there are ways to fix your credit. And Sheena has the tools and the power to teach you how. And so please go like her pages. Please reach out to her. Like I said, I'm going to be in all her classes this year because it's important to me that I do something for me. And so, and I can't say this for everybody, but I'm doing this for me because I want to build a stable future. But I don't even have kids. Those of you out there that are playing this game with children, please, for the sake of your children, get in these classes, figure this out, because you're not just creating your future, you are creating stability for your family and hopefully eventually generational wealth.
Yes, and those of you out there who does have kids, I got an event starting in February. That might be what you was thinking about.
I think it is the mommy.
The Money Mommy and Me event.
I'm excited for that.
Starting in February. It's going to teach you how to save for college, everything about kids and finances. So if you have kids, and even if you're not a mommy, if you're daddy, still come join. It's open to everyone. And like I said, follow My Simple Wealth for the details. And it is coming. Make sure you're following that page.
I'm excited.
Me too. So that's part of one of my goals for 2020. I'm not going to say resolution, but business goals for 2024 is the launch of the Learning Center. Because I want to coach and be there, educate people on their wealth building, because we all need to be literate of our finances, literate of our credit, so we can have the tools that we need to build that generational wealth. Even if you don't have kids to leave behind a legacy, but you can still work and build your legacy. You're here. We're
And
we're living and
your
breathing. Build a legacy.
Yeah, your legacy doesn't just have to be for your kids. Your legacy can be for your neighbors. It can be for the old lady down the street that remembers you. Your legacy is so many more things than just that. And as someone, as a person without like biological children, listen, I still have a stepson. And my stepson has a son. And all I think about is I hope that someday I can help, pay for TJ's college. And not that he's a really big part of my life at this moment, but I want him to know that he has the options to get away from the bad neighborhoods and the places that, we all grew up, so that he can do something if he wants to with his life on a higher level. But in order to create those things, and him being, as young as he is now, yeah, I got like 15 years to do it, but I need that time. So the best time is to start right now. Start it fresh in the beginning of the year, get a good mindset going. I don't know about other people, but I'm one of those people that right before New Year's, I clean out all my old clothes that I don't wear anymore. I get rid of a bunch of stuff in my house that I don't use. If I haven't used it all year, ain't no sense of keeping it.
I feel that way about clutter. You ain't touched it in that long. If you really don't need it, let it go.
So I actually feel that way about storage units, but I used to work in the storage industry. I used to get mad at people that would have their stuff in storage for like 20 years. And I would be like, what? You never even come to see it. You just paid a bill online. And they'd be like, well, I mean, but it's all my stuff. But you paid for storage for 20. How much money have you? Well, you could have bought all this stuff again.
I can't co-sign. I did that junk for 2 years. Then I was like, girl, I need to do something for this stuff.
Listen, I was there when in fact, the launch of our podcast was when we moved all her stuff.
Yes, because like they kept going up on the rent. I was like, listen, I'm paying over $100 for y'all to keep what? I don't even remember what's in here. Like, what is this in these
Right.
boxes? Like, I'm paying 100. You want me to pay $120 to keep what boxes? Like, we got to go through this stuff. We got to figure out what this
That's
is.
why. That's why when y'all see me and her posting pictures throughout the day, they seem like so random. It'd be like a picture at a gas station with me with pink hair and her, because we was moving all her stuff out of storage.
Yes, we got to do something with this.
um, but and a couple other small things before we talk about our business spotlight that I do just want to touch on is, if you go like Sheena's page and you look at some of the things she's offering, I want you to remember that she offers a lot more than just those things. And if you take the time now to make sure you go like it, you're going to see as those things launch. You know, she has a lot
Right.
going on with other things, not just that. She has the credit repair to help. She has all of her learning center stuff that she's doing. But she also offers like individual budgets, individual bookkeeping, you know, individual different kinds of sessions. There's so much more to what she's doing. But if you're not following her, how are you going to know?
Right. And if you follow the page, you'll know that I just launched a group, a Facebook group for wealth warriors, and that I'm going to be dropping some key information, some exclusive files, and everything. So follow the page. Make sure you join the group. So if you go out to the page, you'll see all the information for the group, and the link is out there on the page to join the group. So make sure you're in the group, because you're going to get some free giveaways, some files, some good inside knowledge to everything wealth
I want
management.
to help
So
you
make
make
sure.
Wealth Warrior shirts.
Oh, that'd be cool. And little mugs,
I think it'd
coffee
be,
mugs.
yeah. Oh, you know I love mugs.
Yeah.
So I really like that name too, Wealth Warriors. Wealth Warriors.
Yes.
So
I'm excited.
this year, oh, I am too. Well, that's because you have so many things like, and I don't know who all knows, she's been on this journey for a while with the startup of her business. So everything's kind of finally falling into place and the launches are starting, but they're coming and they're coming fast.
Right.
And that's why it's so important that you go like the page now so you see them as they're happening. And you know, anytime that you see her do something, I more than likely am somewhere around her helping or doing with her, because I really, this stuff, Sheena has the mindset for it. I'm just really good with people. So I know how to nicely type really fast and say, da da da, 1 second, I'll get that question answered for you. And then be like, hey, Sheena, not to interrupt, but. So that's the only reason I'm going to be helping her with those kinds of things, is just to kind of get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, my phone just popped up and said, you won $50,000. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's a game. It's, I won
Girl.
$50,000 in a game. Maybe that's gonna be my luck for the new year, though. Maybe I'm gonna win lots of
some
money.
monies. Listen, my goal is to 2024 is start building my foundation for my business empire, and then work on getting my first comma, and then after I get my second comma, I can retire.
Listen, that's a really good goal. I mean, my goals are very specific, but they're very specific for a specific reason. I know that, full disclosure, I find out what's going on with my autoimmune disorder on February 8th of this coming year. And so my goals are more based on trying to deal with and get through that and whatever is going to change in my life than anything big, because anyone that knows anyone knows that it's not a big deal to make goals, but to reach them logically. I know that with me, sorry, y'all, I'm getting messages on the Facebook. All right, so like on my end, I know that anytime you deal with health stuff, it messes with your mental health. So my goal this year is just to keep positive mental health as I deal with what I'm going through. along with my, my goals for the business and my savings goal. So, the last thing that I want to touch on before we get off here tonight is, if you saw my spotlight post, please,
Yes, I
please,
did.
please go check these people out. So, Summoned by Nature, I had the privilege of meeting some of these members during our cruise, and they are phenomenal people. Not only do they, so it's a clothing brand. Summoned by Nature is a clothing brand. And they do like pop-up shops all around like Charleston and surrounding areas and a few other places. So that's mostly out of South Carolina, but they're online. Look them up on Facebook. Support these people. And I say that because the things that they do for the community are just, they just make my heart beat. So they do like a school drive and give out book bags and supplies for the kids every year. And they do all of this out of the funds that they make from these shirts. It's not like they make all this money and they blow it on themselves or they go out and get cool new. They use this money and put it back into the community.
That's awesome.
And those are the kinds of places that I think we need to support. So when you have time, I sent a lot of people that know me an invite today to go like them after I posted, the business spotlight. However, if you're watching this podcast and you're anywhere in the world, Summoned by Nature on our Facebook page, go find them, go like their page, go support their products. Make sure you look out for them too.
Exactly.
They're doing some phenomenal things.
You gotta
Now,
help
with that
those in
being
your
said,
community.
it's officially New Year's Eve. In 24 hours, guys, we're in a whole new year.
Whole new year.
And I just want to remind everybody, our next podcast will be at 8 p.m. because that's our new time. Also,
I'll see you
that
next
morning, listen, I actually, just so you know, I hate the last day of work before the new year. When everybody says that as they leave, it drives me absolutely nuts that every single person says that. And once you get into property management, like you hear it like 85 times in one day because
That's why
all
I
of your
said it,
tenants
because I
want to
was
say
hearing
it
it
too.
like all Friday. Like, we'll be back on Tuesday next year. And I'll see you guys in the new year. See you guys next year.
It
Shut
drives me
up.
absolutely nuts. And it's, no harm, no foul. It doesn't make me mad. I just say it's annoying after you hear it like for the 60th time in one day. You're just like, no, you won't actually if you don't calm it down, Karen. Calm down, ma'am.
Because I'm going to be
It's not
fired
even
because I'm going to punch you in your face.
right. Or the ones that hysterically laugh after like you've never heard the joke. See you next year. What? You said that to me last year.
Or, you know what? I heard you said that to Jim, Bob, and Jerry over there, and Susan
right, on
over
the
there.
three doors next to me.
I heard you, so I already know what you was going to say when you got to me. So shut up.
Okay, but also next year, starting the same day, so every Saturday morning at 7 a.m., which sounds really early right now when I say it. But
really
every
early.
Saturday morning at 7 a.m., we're going to cover current events. We're not going to get all dolled up. We're probably not going to be this excited. However, we are going to have coffee, so we'll be able to function. So we're going to drink some coffee. It's going to be called Coffee with the Maries. And there's some exciting announcements on our next podcast too. So I think it's really important that if you have the time, you make sure you stop in next Saturday at 8 p.m. for our first podcast of the year, just to kind of know what to expect and what's coming, because there's so many things that are coming.
Right.
Also, last announcement.
Growing.
We are. It's so exciting. So sorry, that was when I get really excited, I want to squeeze stuff. So I squeeze my hair.
Squeeze your hair?
I usually do it to my dog because she's a really strong pit bull, so I can squeeze her and she's happy about it.
Mine's is kind of short, so I can't really do that.
No, just grab it at the bottom. Squeeze.
Oh, squeeze. So excited.
Oh man. So either the ADHD or the slightly autistic side is coming out of me because I can feel that everyone's like, whew, Okay. I have on
Okay,
lashes. I don't
we're
want to
having
mess them
too
up.
much fun. We're having too much fun. Let's calm it down. Serious.
So the last thing that I want to say before next year is, is we do have some really big things coming up. And one of those big things is we want to host a virtual book reading for any other authors out there. So we are talking about doing this in early March. So if you are an author or you know an author and you would like to be a part of this virtual book reading, that will be broadcasted out across all of our platforms during a podcast, then we would love for you to reach out to us. You can just go on the yinyangthepodcast.com and hit our business spotlight and fill out that information, and either Sheena or I will get back to you immediately. So please, if you're interested at all, reach out to that. And for now, that's everything. We're going to be back next year,
See y'all
bright and
next
early.
year.
So next Saturday morning, 7 a.m., current event, y'all. We'll see you there.
I
Happy
might
New
have
Year.
crossed sleep in my. I'm gonna be like.
Listen, I'm gonna have a messy bun. I'm not even gonna do my makeup, or y'all are gonna get the real me in the morning. So I hope y'all can handle that. I hope I can handle that.
Sleepy me. I'm not a morning person, so I'm gonna go get the sleepy me with the coffee. My wig gonna be crooked, and my lips
You
gonna
have
be
some
crusty.
drool right here.
My lips gonna be ashy and dry, and I'm gonna be like, kind of events.
I don't even care about the events.
Yeah. So yeah, it ought to be great. It's gonna be great.
That's so funny because I'm the exact opposite. Like, I wake up in the morning ready to go. Like, I wake up in the morning as soon as
and I'll be
my
like,
feet touch the ground. I'm like, go.
I wake up like, I don't want to talk. Don't talk to me.
Okay, so y'all, we gonna judge Sheena each morning. We gonna give her like a 1 to 10 scale, and we gonna be like, okay, we think she's a 5. We'll make that part of our morning fun. So
y'all gonna be
y'all
like,
tune
Sheena
in so we can judge.
Sheena need to get on the podcast at 6:30 so she could drink her coffee and be ready by 7 because she's a little cranky.
Oh, that's too funny. All right, y'all.
All right.
Well, y'all have a wonderful New Year. Enjoy the celebrations this evening with your families, with your friends, whoever you decide to bring the New Year in with. And of course, as always, if y'all need anything from us, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are right here all the time. I was going to say, don't hesitate to watch out. It sounded like I was threatening everyone. That was horrible. It's New Year, new me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh. I thought you said walk out. I was like, okay, when you're walking out.
Well, you have to get to the new year. And listen, also, I'm really curious if any of you have a really unique New Year's tradition that you do at your home, email it to me, because I want to start creating some New Year traditions, in my little family. But besides organizing and cleaning out my house, I don't really know a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people make certain dishes. I talked to a lady the other day that told me that her and her husband sprinkle salt all around their house.
I talked to someone the other day, they don't wash on the New Year's because you're going to wash somebody out your life. And I was like, really? So they don't wash nothing on the New Year's. Have you heard of that?
So I've heard that whatever you're doing on New Year's Day is what you're going to do the rest of the year.
I heard of that.
So I try to
wherever
make
you're
sure
gonna
that I
be
don't.
Too. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just people ad-libbing still.
Yeah, I just try not to fight with people on the first day of the year, so I'm not fighting all year.
I'm gonna be somewhere hiding.
I also try not to be broke on the first day of the year, even if I used to got a couple dollars in my pocket. As long as I don't spend it all, then maybe I won't be broke for New Year. But it is a little scary that I can't walk. I'm washing tomorrow, y'all. So if you the person getting washed out of my life, I apologize, but I need to bathe.
No, like talking about washing clothes. Well, she said, "Well, as in
Oh, I
washing
thought you said
clothes."
wash.
So she don't wash no clothes, but you know me in my mind, because my mind is my mind. So I was like, "So what you mean by wash? Is it just clothes, or are we talking about dishes, or are we talking about your booty? Like, how? What do you not wash?" So I
Yeah,
really need
because
somebody to
that's
explain that. Is it just clothes? Like, are we not washing clothes on this, or is
I'm
it
not
like
okay with that either because I need to do my laundry. But so it's just gonna have to be a toss up this year. Do you wash out my life? My bad. I have laundry to do and I need to shower.
right? Me,
So
I was sitting there thinking like, okay, so is it just laundry or is it dishes? Because is we not can't wash no dishes, so we doing
listen,
paper
you
plates
know
for the
what? In that case, just for y'all, just for whoever out there, I won't wash the dishes. I won't wash the dishes tomorrow.
Listen, on January 2nd, there's
And
gonna be a bunch of people who gonna do laundry, wash dishes, and be washing their booty. So this is like,
I'm washing my booty before that, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't wait till the second for all that. I got,
and some of our
I
water bill
got
gonna be
tequila,
high. Like we're
okay.
gonna have a lot of water being used on the second. I wonder if there's a way we can track that, like how much water we're using on the second, because nobody washed on the
Ooh,
first.
you know what? I'm gonna look it up, y'all. So y'all might get a random post on the Yin Yang podcast page because on the second, on the third, I'm gonna look up how much water was used on the second.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is that dish that a lot of people make on New Year's?
Oh, it's like you need to have your greens. What is it? The collard greens for money, the black eyed peas for something else, and I don't know. That's the only thing I remember.
Hold on. Hey, sir. Do you know what the dishes are that people make for New Year's? Is it just black eyed peas and collard greens? The green is for money and the brown is for pennies. He said other people will add stuff to that
Oh,
for like their own spirituality or religious reasons and then have the reason why that's there. But those are the two main dishes that he knows about.
yeah. That's all I know is the collard greens and the black eyed peas.
Thank you very much for that
So
information,
is it
sir.
just cooking, or do I have to really consume it? See, I have too many questions.
So, hey, if you're the cook, do you have to eat? Like for the good luck from it?
Yeah, it's a part of New Year's resolution.
Yeah, you're supposed to eat the meal, Sheena.
I don't want to eat beans or peas. Is black eyed peas a bean or a pea?
Okay, see,
Or
I've had
see?
this fight before all the time. Hold on, because I need to know this now. We have one more question, and just so y'all are aware, I'm asking someone that has worked in the food industry multiple years. So this person isn't just like randomly. And I know it sounds really weird. Okay, this is my significant other, but I'm asking them these questions. I didn't want to just keep saying this random person because y'all know that I'm in my house and I don't have no strangers walking around my house.
Like who is there
So
with you?
he was in the food industry for a really long time. Last question: are black eyed peas or beans?
Black eyed bean.
No, they call black eyed peas. He talking about what black eyed beans. Um, no, the black eyed peas. Like, are they actually beans of some sort, or are they peas? So what makes them peas? Because they don't taste like peas to me.
Because they,
He said they peas. It's the shape. Well, we know they got the black eyes on them. No, they're peas based on like the shape and probably the size, huh? Where Google
All
at?
right. Yeah, I'm gonna have a course in the learning center that that's gonna break down the black eyed peas, and we're gonna get to the answer.
So, you know what, y'all? I will get on Yin Yang at some point tomorrow and share y'all some recipes to go ahead and make this for your families if you would like to do it. And that way y'all have it available. or you can just go to Yang's house because it sounds like she gonna cook it but not eat it. So
I'm
she
not
just
cooking
gonna have
another
some
thing.
toast.
I just listen. There wasn't to be no pots rattling.
Your brother said you better eat that so you can get your money and your pennies.
Oh God, I
That's your
might do
blessings come from that.
Okay, collard greens. I'll do the collard greens. I'm not. Can I do 1 pea? Does that count?
Okay, so your sister Sheena wants to know how many peas she has to eat to get her blessings. He said it depends on how many blessings you want.
Yes, a couple servings.
He said a couple servants should get you some
we
decent
ain't doing that.
blessings. She said, how about 2 peas? She said, how about all the greens and 2 peas? She gonna eat 2 of them.
Well, is the peas for pennies? I just need to concentrate on the collard greens.
She said if the peas are for pennies, then she can just concentrate on the collard greens and get the dollars. All right, y'all. We're done with this podcast tonight. Y'all have a great night. A happy New Year.
And eat what you want to eat.
Yeah, eat whatever you want to eat. But I will share those recipes to the page tomorrow morning. So if anyone needs to know how to cook them, that way you have a way too. And there'll be some Southern recipes. So it's gonna have some seasoning and some flavor, y'all. We don't share bland recipes on our page.
Don't open up the can and just pour it in a pot. That's what I do.
And don't get the pre-seasoned canned ones from Walmart, y'all. People can tell and they're nasty. So, anyways, I will go ahead and share those on there tomorrow. But y'all have a great New Year.
Night.
And Yin Yang the podcast loves y'all. Thank y'all for the support. And we will see y'all next year.
Bye. 2 people, 2 opinions.
2 opinions.
Real talk. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all.